What is going on, Washington football addicts? Washington Football Nation is Monday night, December 6th, and we coming off a sweet ass 4-piece win in a row. Oh, in a row.
Can you believe it?
No.
Can you believe it?
No.
Anything is possible.
Sitting at 500. 500.
Yeah.
It was the last time we were at 500 this late in the season.
2012? I don't know.
2018.
2018.
But no, actually 2018, 2016, 2015. We've the 2016 we were already on the downward slide that season. We were collapsing. Same with 2018. This season we're on the rise. We're ascending.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Although I hope it's just not, because the most dangerous team to play at the end of the year are the one who's hot. It's real bad in baseball, right? But football, I think the same way is, man, you got that fire going into it. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that team. And right now, I think we're that team. So with that said, let's go ahead and kick off episode 99, Phil.
99, a great year just in general, but 99 is a number that really doesn't have. It's weird because it's not a number that was worn a lot in the olden times of the franchise. But we've had a number of players that have worn 99 that have been contributors. You got Chase Young right now. You had Marco Coleman, but I'm going to go with Andre freaking Carter. A highlight of some teams that were not particularly great, but did have some playoff appearances, especially in 2007 in particular, when we went to the playoffs, had that hot streak at the end of the season. Speaking of hot streaks, won 4 games in a row to get into the playoffs, and went back and forth with Seattle for 3 quarters. He had 10.5 sacks that season. 2 years later in 2009, he had 11 sacks. Really should have gone to the Pro Bowl both years. But unfortunately, that whole Washington bias kicked in. But nonetheless, Andre Carter is a defensive end. Came to us from the 49ers, where he had played 5 seasons before coming to us in 2006. In 5 years, he had 34.5 sacks. Although 2 of those seasons were riddled by injury, he probably would have had more. And he was the all-around hustle guy. He was a speed rusher at defensive end. He's a good comparison to Chase Young. So I think Chase Young's more talented, but Andre Carter was all heart, and he was a really talented defensive end in his own right. And he was an example of a high motor guy who also had skill. We tend to call high motor guys, guys who are, not the most talented, not the most athletic, but just drive on every play. He was talented and athletic and drove on every play. So, dedication Andre Carter. He's unfortunately his name's kind of fading into distant memory for a lot of people, and that's a shame because dude had a lot of good highlights for this team, especially in some bad seasons too. You're muted, Steve.
Yes, here we go. Button click. Yeah, Andre Carter, good dude, man. I enjoyed him being on our team. Good high motor. Wish he would have stayed a little bit longer. He kind of, I feel like him and Chase are kind of built similar.
Very
build.
similar builds. They're about the same height, about the same weight. Both use speed to their advantage. Both are sorely underrated as run defenders by the fan base. They only know him for, he's a defensive end. He's a speed guy.
Yeah.
Sacks. No, these guys are multi-tool players at defensive end. The one thing I always remember is remember that Philly game, the Monday Night Massacre when
Michael Vick.
Yeah, Michael Vick went off. That same play where the fat ass Albert Hainsworth is laying on the field taking a nap. If you watch, Andre Carter is going 150% trying to get to Michael Vick. And it's like you could see a dichotomy between a guy who doesn't care and a guy who really cares in one play. That's why I always liked Andre Carter. The guy gave a damn, and he put his heart and his soul out on the field. I like guys like that, and I think that's a great segue into what's going on with this team right now.
That's right. So we're tying this one Four-titude. 17-15 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, it was so sweet.
Who called us winning 2 games in a row, 17-15?
Man, a little bit of
you got that on your bingo card.
Nope.
Go play the lottery right now.
So hold up. Last week was 17-15?
Yeah, I'm going to play 17-15 next week for sure.
That's got to be a lot.
I got it now. Washington win 17-15.
15-17.
I'm getting that motherfucking power.
Oh, man. Yeah, none of us predicted it. I mean, we had quite a few predictions. I'll just go ahead and flash them right now, and then I'll read them for the crew, the audio crew. But Andy Burrows had 31-10 Washington football. Marcus Edelin had 24-21 Vegas. Rod had 31-17 Vegas. I had 31-24 Washington. Dev had 21-17 Washington.
Phil, I got close again, man. That's 2 times.
You did. Phil had 24-23 Washington. Cordell, Christopher, Rob had 27-23. Thomas had 31-17. And Jeff Runyon 23-20. Justin 31-24. Antonio Brown 24-17. All of those Washington. So yeah, kind of close, but no one got the 15, which is an odd score in itself. But
Shotguns texted me. He was like, tell Steve, I got 23-27.
Yeah,
I was like, man. I said, once you hit him up on Facebook, man, I ain't gonna remember that shit. And he was like,
he put it on YouTube.
Okay.
So
he said he put it on YouTube, but it was after it already went off the air or something.
Oh, it's okay. I had it locked. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, slow victory, slow game. I mean, after the first drive, though, it was a very, very back and forth game for sure. But let's just go over the numbers here. We had very even game. If you want to get critical about it, we had 23 first downs to 20. We had 23. They had 22. I'm just going to go ahead and show the screen for everybody. Penalties seem to be an issue all game between both teams. We were 7 for 13 on third down. They were 2 for 8, which is odd. That's, eight third down attempts. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Total yards 298 to 310. Total plays, we had 61. They had 56. Net yards rushing, we had 112. They had 76. Our 30 rushes to their 16.
That's the game right average,
there. It is. Time of possession, 33-43 for us, 26-17 for them. So that's a relatively balanced game for both teams. If you start to break it down, you can see how close it is. But let's go ahead and look at the scoring breakdown and go over these scores here real quick. So go into the first quarter. We opened up and we scored on the first drive. How often do that happen? Not very often, right?
Never.
And it ends, never. And it's capped off with a Heineke pass to Logan Thomas in the end zone for 7 yards. And if you remember, it was that high 7 yards. Of course, Logan did his thing and brought it in. So
looked like Dennis Rodman out there, man, doing the one hand.
Yeah. What a way to start. It was
I can't lie. I was jacked. It's like, we just scored on the first drive of the game. This might be a blowout. Yeah, I was wrong.
And then they made adjustments, or we made adjustments. I'm not sure. It's 7-3 going into halftime. 7-6 come out of the third quarter. I mean, going into the fourth quarter, it was 7-6. That's insane. Then Heineke and the crew march down, and Antonio Gibson runs to the right for 4 yards, touchdown.
No, pass to the right.
Pass to the right.
Let me tell you something. I've been really critical of Gibson, his pass catching, because he's a natural.
He caught that with his hands, not body.
I did I not say in the comments that is the absolute best catch Gibson has made, because he went and he could have let the ball come to him in that pass, but he reached out. He reached out like this. If you're watching, you can see my hands. He reached out like this, grabbed the ball, pulled it into him, and
looked like a regular old wide receiver.
He And these are things I like to see because Gibson's made a lot of strides in these little things. He's showing flashes being able to hand catch now. When he runs with the ball, he's holding it higher and tighter now. He's holding it like a running back and not like a wide receiver now.
Yeah.
I don't know. He still holds it weird to me.
Really, if you really look at when they show the close-ups, he's got that when he's out in open space and there's no one around. Yeah, that thing's still hanging a little loose. But as soon as defenders come, he's pulling that thing up real tight. And these are the little things I like to see because this is how you avoid fumbling. This is how you avoid dropped passes right here.
Yeah. And going into the fourth quarter, we were up 14-6 to start the fourth quarter right away. Vegas marches down and Josh Jacob runs it in for a 1-yard touchdown, 14-12. They did fail the 2-point conversion. So we had that going for us, but so much time left in the fourth quarter. What are you saying, Nev?
Go ahead. Are you talking about the current game?
Yeah. And then the Raiders put together another drive and they go all the way down with two and a quarter left and they kick a field goal, 14-15. And then it was on us. We get the kickoff. We march all the way down. Adam Humphries comes through in the clutch a couple times again. He's always him in the fourth quarter and extending drives. I mean, it's insane. I think Gibson had a very crucial fourth down run. Right?
I want to know who the asshole was that tried to say that signing Humphreys was overpaying Trey Quinn or some shit like that. Well, I mean, like, really?
Yeah, we all
don't think so.
Without knowing his background, I mean, he played well with Tom Brady, but Tom Brady makes everybody look good, right?
He played well with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
that was actually a connection I was looking forward to seeing this year, but didn't happen.
Probably not gonna happen next year either.
No, unless Humphreys retires with Fitzpatrick, and they can go play in some semi-pro league together.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And so we score 42 seconds left. The legend of Brian Johnson is being created. 17-15 is the score. 42 seconds left. The Raiders get the ball, and in a matter of 2 plays, they knock off 25 seconds. It's crazy, right? You remember that? Next thing you know, they're down to 10 seconds left. I'm sorry. Before the Hail Mary where the pass out interference was not called, which is debatable, but at the end, I think everyone's right. That's something you let those guys play. He turned around. It was just
because it was clearly a pass interference. But there's one.
It was clearly pass interference.
There's one that they did on McLaurin too earlier. That was clearly.
If an official was in the exact right position to see it, it would have been pass interference. But from about 95% of all angles, it just looks like he's just like got his hand out. You don't see the jersey pull away from the body.
Right. Yeah. That was a couple of times where they pass interfered on McLaurin one time too on third down, and we had to punt because of it. They didn't call. There was a lot of bad calls on both sides. I think that the roughing the passer they called on against the Raiders wasn't roughing the passer either.
Right. You can't land on the quarterback anymore.
Max Crosby, that's a tough one.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe if he'd let his arms go, I mean, that's a tough one, but that's the rule. Right. And just as the rule where Logan got cut blocked, that's illegal. That's legal, but it's new for 2021. For those who don't know, it's defenders are allowed to go low in the tight end box. In the tight end box, I learned this yesterday. The tight end box, it extends 2 yards outside the tackles and 5 yards in either direction, forward or backwards of the line of scrimmage. That's a pretty big, square footage area where you're authorized to cut. Now, I think hopefully they'll take a look at that and remove it. That's friggin' dangerous.
I think that's because you can't cut. You can only get so much momentum in that box. So you really can't if you cut someone, you're not slamming into them at full speed low. Yeah, and I think that's the thought process behind it.
The problem was Logan was pulling. He was pulling and came out. I think right as he cleared that left side of the line, bam. Guy was down and there's nothing he could do. It just sucks, man. I freaking love Logan Thomas.
And he may be back this year because apparently the MRI came back very Promising.
Beneficial.
Bruised bone, yeah.
Well, no ACL tear. I didn't hear anything about the MCL yet. I think it
no
said
MCL either. Apparently,
okay.
No tears.
I mean, take your time.
A bone bruise is nothing to play with, y'all.
It's not.
That hurts.
And I will say that we'll actually go back and go to these stats here. Heineke, 23 for 30, 196, 2 touchdowns and an interception, quarterback rating of 101.5. Carr, 28 for 38, 249, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I think we got a little bit lucky on a couple of throws Heineke had. I feel like there should have been maybe one or two more
on that
pickles.
Field goal drive. We got away with one.
Yeah. But
I think he still got to get that ball down, though. God, there was a couple passes that we dropped, and you can tell who really is like on this Heineke bandwagon because they're like, oh, if it hits you in the hands, you have to catch it. I'm sorry, but sometimes it hits you in the hands because you're fortunate enough to get a hand on it. Like there was that screen to Bates, where Bates, who is 6'8" and 260 pounds, barely gets his fingertips on it on a screen pass, and he's bending back and away with the defender bearing down on him.
Right.
Yeah,
had that been a decent pass, he would have been able to probably plow that defender and get 5 or 6 yards. Instead, it was incomplete.
The run game, Antonio Gibson, he stalwart running again, 23 for 88. Granted, 3.8 average, but he had some pretty good clips in there. He even had 22-yarder. He had a couple taken back by penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
John Riggins ran for 3.8 yards most of his career.
That's what we need, man. That's exactly what we need. Taylor had some really clutch runs to extend drives, getting past the line of scrimmage. And so I wish I wanted to see a little bit more Jared Patterson. I think a lot of people do, but we didn't see him. We saw one, Wendell Smallwood had a run, and we saw one run from Jared Patterson for 2 yards. Even Samuel had a run, but he had 2 runs. One, he fell just short of that first down, and then another, I think he got stuffed. But
I like that play, by the way. I like that because
where they brought him in motion and put him in the backfield.
Yeah, when he motioned to the backfield, I was like, "There's no way they're gonna like run him on a swing pass to the flat." And when he ran a draw, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
I mean, literally, if that hole had closed a 1/10 of a second slower, he's got a first down and more.
Right.
Yeah. As far as receiving goes, I think Logan did have the most impactful play, believe it or not. I think they were keyed in a lot on Terry, who only had 3 catches for 22 yards, basically a non-factor. But that opens up. Logan had 3 for 48, and John Bates 3 for 42, and then Adam Humphries 4 for 38. And Antonio Gibson had 5 catches out of the backfield. Granted, a lot of them were short, quick hits, but they're Scott's finally starting to use his, former positioning play at the right time. So Scott, I want to say he called another pretty good game. I don't know. What do you think,
I especially like that play with Samuels lined up in the backfield that took him off guard. He almost got the 4 yards.
He did. He got 3. I want to say he got 3. He fell just short.
He was a running back in college. So
yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, Ron has a way of making these guys. Yeah, he was a running back at Ohio State. They moved a receiver. Yeah, he has a way of finding guys and switching them positions and it working out. He has a way of doing it. Look at this roster up and down.
If you look at on the Raiders side, they were pretty much a non-factor in the run. They were, Derek Carr had that one huge scramble, but Hunter Renfrow, I got him in the FanDuel league, but he just went off 9 for 102. We couldn't stop him. Now I don't know if the game plan would just keep him in front of you, but we couldn't stop Hunter Renfrow at all. But he didn't score, kept him in check, for the most part. But he was just the go-to guy. It was rough, but all in all, pretty even matchup. We came out on top. I mean, let's talk other injuries. Who else got injured besides Logan? Do you guys remember?
We didn't have anybody who got like hurt. Besides Logan, like we had guys who, I
can't think of anyone.
Someone
didn't
Smallwood get hurt?
McCain is
No, Smallwood was there at the
No,
end
I'm
of the
sorry.
year.
That was Kenyon Drake for the
Yeah,
Raiders.
Drake got serious. Drake's done for the season.
He rolled his ankle real bad, I think, right?
He broke his ankle. He's done for the
Broke
season.
his ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's rough.
Sad news, man.
It's bad. Yeah, that guy, whoever 92 is, you could say he threw him backwards. He grabbed him and he fell to the ground, but his foot was caught under another dude.
Yeah.
So that's tough, man.
That's
a bummer. You don't ever want to see anyone get injured like that. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's any other injuries. So we had Logan Thomas and Kenyon Drake, and then they lost Nick Kwiatkowski and Denzel Perryman in the second half. Other than that, pretty clean game injury-wise. But all right, well, let's go on to the next segment of good, bad, and ugly. So, Dev, give me a good, bad, and ugly. What you got?
The good would be field goal kicker. He made all his extra points, made his field goal. So good for the PK. The bad would be McCain, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, like I don't understand why he keeps coming up on shallow routes. There was also a spot in there where I want to say it was Holcomb it looked like it was a cover 3, but he got confused and ran to the sideline, and that's why that guy ran for the first deep pass. He was up to the middle of the seam. I think it's that one Deshaun Jackson called on the left hand side that he just ran right by him because for some reason the linebacker just ran past him, went to the sideline where the corner was already standing there. So one of them didn't do what they were supposed to do. It's like too many times where we're seeing. It's starting to see it more while we're winning. They're just not getting killed on it. They did get killed for 2 touchdowns this game because of blown coverage by McCain. And then also last game, also 2 touchdowns because of McCain.
Yep.
Like just not following dudes up the middle of the field or not switching off. And that hasn't bitten us yet, but it's like, dude.
It's going to. It's going to eventually.
It's definitely going to, especially when you have 3 receivers with guys like the Cowboys have 3 receivers.
Dallas. That's right.
And a tight end that can go, and so do the Eagles have a tight end that can go up the middle, man. You know, so that kind of scares me, man. I'm hoping Landon comes back sooner than later, only because I think Holcomb was playing some of the jobs that maybe that.
Let me say this: Holcomb was running step for step on plays with Hunter Renfrow,
right? But every play,
perfect position.
Every play that went shallow, he backed off of them and let him go. Though it's like, man, there was too much of that. There was too much of that letting him go, and then he's open to somebody else's zone when he should have followed him. Stuff going on.
Yeah,
and all of us have played football to some degree, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I played defensive back. I don't understand why. Defensive backs come up in its cover 3 and don't stay with the deepest receiver. So if the guy's running up the side, it was our defense. If a guy's running a fly or a go route on the sideline and you're in a deep safety, you still want to be deeper than a go route on the sideline.
Don't cheat
up.
What
I'm saying? You don't have to go over to him, but you have to be deeper than him. It's fundamental cover 3, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like that no one on the team that plays free safety ever gets it. Not Troy Apke, not Landon when it's forcing him to run back there. I've seen Curl get fucked up doing it, you know, and it's just crazy to me. Like that, we have to get a free safety in the draft. In my opinion, if Heineke wins out this job, I personally think free safety has to be number 1. And I know everybody's going to say quarterback, unless we get what the Pickett dude that fake slid the other day, unless we get that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
They're saying that the quarterbacks are going to go outside the top 10 this year. So
if that guy's there, you can grab him. Yeah. But anybody else, man, if there's a guy that you think can be an all-pro free safety, please grab that guy, man.
Yeah.
Because McCain's not it. McCain is a very good NFL player. He deserves to be in the league. I would love to have him as a depth guy for sure. But to have that guy start
tackles well,
man, no, he don't. No, he don't.
It's definitely the weakest spot.
The last 3 or 4 games.
It's the weakest spot on the defense. You're right. I can't prioritize a higher weakness right now than free safety on the defense.
Yeah, that dude's fucking.
So was he your bad or was he your ugly?
He was my ugly.
He was your ugly.
What was my bad? Damn.
I don't know.
My good was kicker. The bad was the ugly was McCain.
Yeah.
The bad was probably. Man, I don't.
It's all right.
I have no idea.
It's hard. This makes you pick one good thing and 2.
I'll go bad. Who do we play again? The Raiders. The bad was Rodney, man. You know, for not being able to take these comments and get his ass chewed out. You know, I wish we was live because I know you tune in. But Rod, man, told you, come on back. Just come back, man. Remember the Popeye's chicken commercial? Come home to Popeye's chicken. Hey, come back, man. You need some of Mama's home cooking. You know what I'm saying? You need some home cooking.
All right, Phil.
Come on back home, man.
What you got? Shit. Good, bad, ugly. What you got, Phil?
The good was third down conversions.
Yeah.
Kept drives going. It didn't necessarily lead to points, but it led to us keeping their offense and the Hunter Renfrows and the Derek Carrs they have over there off the field. So the good was third down conversions, whether we did it in the air or whether we did it on the ground. The bad was our inability to sustain these long drives long enough to get points. Now, granted, we never had a short field to work with all game. I think we started every drive, it seemed like, behind the 30-yard line. So, you know, that's asking a lot to ask your offense, hey, we need you to score 20, 30 points, and you're never going to get a short field. You've got to do a long drive every time. But we won time of possession again. We won it by 7 minutes against a good team. And we did it because we were maintaining the offense, third downs. Conversions were very good. So, again, our inability to score points off of these drives and getting more out of these third down conversions, that's the bad. The ugly, screen pass execution.
Yeah.
And some of these plays, like, you know, it's funny because a lot of people are like, we should take the screen pass out of the playbook because we can never run it right. This is actually going to go in the Taylor Heineke needs to calm his spastic ass down once in a while. Because and that's actually a good word. Hey, Taylor does spaz back there a little bit. Played well. But on screen passes, like, he does not get the ball down. He's not get the ball out at the right time. I don't know if it's his timing. I don't know what's going on in his head on these screen passes, but you should not be overthrowing receivers on a screen pass. And he did it multiple times. And what happens is a screen pass, for those who don't know or don't realize, the point of the thing about the screen pass, you get the pass out quickly, so that receiver has time to set up behind the blockers and then move. When that receiver has to take that extra 5/10 of a second to jump up, get that ball, get down, get the feet set. This is a league where everything happens in split seconds. It happens in tenths of seconds. Your receiver, sets. By the time they get down, they turn to look upfield. The blockers have already, lost their block. The defense has had time to react, and you're
blown up in the backfield. Yeah, or the screen passes that I like the screen passes that where it's to the running back and it builds to the left, builds to the right. So you quarterback's got to take that extra 2 seconds to kind of sell it one direction. And then that I like that, but you're right, for the receiver ones, man, you got to get it out and get it out accurate.
Well, I'm not talking about the receiver. I'm talking about we had one, like I said, that one, the Bates, where he's like back and behind him and up, and Bates is 6'8" or whatever, 6'6". That's a tall dude, and you overthrew this guy who is a Sasquatch. How do you do that?
That's your bad.
That's my ugly. Bad was not getting points out of these sustained drives.
He should have caught that though.
Oh,
Thomas should have caught that pass, bro.
Yeah. Well, you talking about the one where Heineke was scrambling and he launched that sucker?
Yeah.
No, that one.
No, man, we have seen Thomas catch crazy passes.
That's another case of
that was an
Heineke sailed the ball.
Yeah, but the problem was there was probably no one within 5 feet in any direction of Taylor Logan. I mean,
yeah, but Heineke got jacked up on that hit. He got smacked. But I mean, he still should have caught it. He made
But
that
he
play
still,
with his
and
legs
that's,
to get open.
and you
And he hit
see,
him
and these are things where it's
2
like,
hands.
I like Taylor's moxie. I like the fact that he does stuff off script. I like his escapability. I like his mobility. I like his ability to find an open receiver. If a receiver is open, he will find that open receiver.
The good thing about Heineke is the things that are bugging people about him are mechanical issues that he will probably get better at as time goes on.
He's almost 30. I don't think he
if
can
you
fix
give
those
him,
mechanical issues at this point.
man, experience is what matters. Quarterbacks have there's a laundry list of quarterbacks that didn't get started later on in their careers, man. And we've seen this guy
And they
get
have
better.
better mechanics than Taylor Heineke. That's the problem.
You gotta get there. He's got to get there by playing. He's already doing better than he was beginning of the year.
Kurt Warner had a sidearm delivery too. Since everybody likes to make the Kurt Warner Taylor Heineke comparison, I will make it for you right here. Kurt Warner had a sidearm delivery as well, right? But his sidearm delivery was mega quick. That thing got out of there fast, all right? And he had really, really, really fast reflexes. That Arena League experience really, came into play there.
I just think that he'll be better if you were to give that guy like an off season as getting the starting reps. I think that those things will go a lot towards your work on your mechanics. I don't think you work on your mechanics.
Quarterback who's always thrown the ball from about here.
I don't
teach him to throw the ball from up here and do it quicker.
I think it can happen.
It's a reflex. All right. And when he's getting rushed in the pocket, blitz is on. Is he going to have time to think about his mechanics? No, he's going to revert back to.
That's why I think he needs an offseason. I don't think that's something you fix during the season.
I don't think that's something you can fix this late in someone's career.
He stands tall though he needs to. If you remember the one play, it was an out to Terry that he stood in there and he got clobbered.
Look, I will not fault him for his willingness to take the hit to get that pass off. Yeah. I will never fault Taylor Heineke's toughness, his durability, and his willing to take punishment.
Yep.
I think if we're arguing his mechanics, I think that's a good thing because I think he can get better at those.
Yeah. I think it's a little too late for that, but that's just me. There's a big difference between a 22-year-old quarterback and a 28-year-old quarterback.
My good, bad, and ugly. I'm going to say my good is the continued use of the running game and Antonio Gibson. And I'd love to see that. I'm going to say my bad is at times, if you guys remember, we were going into that soft zone. It's just frustrating, and I'm pretty sure it's strategic. We'll bend, not break. It's just frustrating because when you keep the pressure on, then you default to that soft ass zone. It's just so frustrating because they just tear you apart little by little. And the ugly is, I'm gonna say, losing Logan Thomas, man. That's gonna hurt. We just got him back, but if Bates steps up, we'll see. I mean, actually, I'm gonna take that back. My good is not Antonio Gibson. My good is the fact that it didn't require Taylor to win this game. I feel the team is getting better all around Taylor, and he doesn't have to do magic to win. Where before he kind of had to pull the rabbit out of his ass a couple times. Now that was a team win yesterday. If you think about it, it wasn't dominance on either side. It was a team win. So I think that's a positive.
It's definitely a team win.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's move on to game balls. So Phil, let you go first. Give me a game ball on offense and a game ball on defense, and don't use the same person twice. Always a challenge. Go.
Game ball on offense. I'm going to give to Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson has last few weeks has really put this team on his back. And this actually goes to your point. We're no longer having to we're not relying on Taylor Heineke to win games for us. We are relying on Taylor Heineke to make plays when he needs to make plays. There's a difference. But Antonio Gibson, 88 yards rushing, and he had like almost 30 yards receiving. Filled in nicely. Taking some of that J.D. McKissick role as well. Had that nice touchdown catch. Some nice runs. Had one nice run called back on a pretty bullshit holding penalty. he's really and he's. Oh, by the way, for everybody who said that we needed to cut Gibson, I heard that one a few weeks ago. He is now the number 1 rusher in the NFC with 800 yards.
Boom, boom.
He's on pace for 1,000 yards plus, people. This is what we need. So yeah, Antonio Gibson, game ball, big time game ball. Defensively, Jonathan Allen.
Yeah,
him and Payne were crashing up the middle all day. The Raiders running game, their longest run of the day, wasn't it Carr on a scramble? I think it was their longest run of the day. In the 2-minute drill. At the end of the first half, it was the longest running play they had, and it was like 17 yards. They really bottled up.
Yeah.
They bottled. I mean, yeah. Granted, the Raiders lost Kenyon Drake, but Jacobs is a damn good running back, and he really went nowhere. So I gotta say, and a lot of that was the interior line. You could give it to Payne, but I'm gonna give it to Allen because Allen was equal in the run game. Plus, he had a sack as well. So defensive game ball, Jonathan Allen.
All right. Who you got?
And special teams game ball to Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Gonzaga High School. God, I love seeing. Look, I come from a DeMatha family, but I love seeing those Washington Catholic athletic conferences players do really well in the NFL, especially for us.
I'm gonna give my game ball to the Washington football fans that showed up at Vegas. Man, that was a better turnout than the home games. It looked like, man, it looked like guys from the pod community had a good time. So they get my first game ball. I'm gonna give that to defense. Offense game ball. Thomas.
Yeah.
I think he had a pretty good day. I don't have the stats in front of me. If somebody else does, it'd be cool. But Thomas had a couple of big plays for us. He had one I think he dropped, but I also seen a nice block on what's that run that did Smallwood have that 8-yard run up the middle at one time or something?
I think so.
13-yard run up the middle, yeah.
Yeah, I think that I seen Thomas block like 2 guys on that one. So I want him to get my offensive game ball. That's it.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay. What about defense?
I gave it to the Washington football team.
Okay. That's fair. So for offense, I'm going to go, you already took Logan, you took AG. I'm going to go Adam Humphries. He made those clutch catches right when we need him to. He's deadly on those little out routes, those 7-yard outs. Yeah. Deadly. And then on the defense, I'm going to go Cole Holcomb. That man all over the place. It's so good to see Cole Holcomb out there chasing people down. He led the team in tackles with 10. So
is it also weird to see Fuller play better on the outside than he was on the inside?
Oh, dude, and Fuller's making some open field tackles too.
We also haven't heard any bad news on the other side either from Jackson.
Jackson did have a couple boneheaded plays, very few, but yeah. What I still don't like when it's 3rd and short, or they're both playing 10 yards off the ball. I just don't know if that's scheme or
it's got to be a scheme if they're both doing it.
It's like stop. Why stop? Yeah. And Jamin, I'm done with my game balls, but Jamin played a lot better too. He was all over the place. He's getting better every game.
He missed a few tackles, but
he did. He missed some open field tackles that could have been crucial stops.
Yeah,
but I still think he's getting better. You're seeing more of him all over the field. So he's gonna, we're gonna have our hands full next week trying to cover Amari, Judy, Pollard out of the backfield. I ain't worried about Zeke. And then who's their tight end? Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, I think they have a good chance of scoring, but I don't think their defense is. I know that they got your boy over at corner,
Diggs.
But I know everybody says Diggs always great, and he is going to be.
Yeah,
great.
But he's burnable too.
He's like one of the worst at getting burnable. He's
like
allowed.
He's also
guy.
Allowed. All or nothing.
Yeah, he's definitely a home run guy. He definitely has allowed the most touchdowns on him in the season. He's actually got one of the lowest completion percentages against as anyone in the NFL over 20 yards. I think it's last. So like, the guy is feast or famine out there. I still would trust McLaurin to come down with it.
Yeah. You know who else was home run all or nothing in the early days was D'Angelo Hall, if you remember that.
Yeah,
he would get burned all the time, but he would also get picks. It'd be frustrating.
Ask Jay Cutler.
Yeah. Yeah. 4-1 or 5? Was it 4?
4 or 5. He has a record.
4.
Yeah. Well, damn, fellas.
In the half, first half.
Yeah.
They had 3.5, and then he had 1 in the second.
Although they had 4 in the whole half. Jeez.
That's still nuts.
It's been
Remember that? Don't throw the ball to D'Angelo Hall.
Yeah, he did it anyways. He's like, I'm doing it anyways. I don't care. You ain't gonna stop me. But we got a long way to go to catch Dallas. They're at 8-4. We're at 6-6. We're 2 games behind. With how many weeks left? 12.
We are the 6th seed, man. We're not even last place. We're second to last place.
Yeah, 6 games left. We are in the we're in the playoff seed hunt right now. What'd you say, 7th?
We're 6th.
6th. Okay. We made the cutoff. Yeah, we're 6 out of 7.
Yeah, let's go to 7. You get 7. There's 7 playoff seats now.
Yeah, they expanded.
Remember that.
We're 6. Yeah, we were 7. Now we're 6.
Who is 7th?
I want to say
is San Francisco right now at 6-6.
Yeah, it could actually. You know what's funny? We've been clowned the whole year, but it could actually end up being 3 teams in NFC East in the playoffs. That can happen.
That's the craziest thing.
Hey, I think Detroit is still mathematically in contention for the playoffs.
No, they lost it. Yesterday was the last chance.
I thought because they won that they beat Minnesota and Kirk Cousins. Aren't they still alive?
They did win that game. They did win that game. That's man. What about Harbaugh's nuts to go for 2 and fucking dude just fell down wide open for a touchdown for a 2-point conversion?
Yeah, I think Mike Zimmer's days in Minnesota are numbered if you lose to freaking Detroit. And Jared Goff had quite a game. They get like 3 touchdowns.
Only 1 game out.
They're 1-10. Yeah, Minnesota's 5-7.
Right, they're 1 game out of the playoffs.
But these next couple games, man, it's gonna be a run for us. It's all division after this, right?
I think we need to win 2 of them at least.
Steve,
I feel good about 3, but we need to win 2 of them.
I'm going to apologize now because there are going to be phrases and words that you're going to need to forget. I said come Sunday.
Okay.
That's because fair. I did not expect this.
Oh shit!
Ago. I did not expect us to be in this position, and now we're in a position where we can get a game closer to Dallas. We can really put ourselves in the driver's seat for the playoffs. We can pull ourselves above 500, and we're playing Dallas, and we're playing them in Washington. I don't know how we need to get this out, but there needs to be all burgundy and gold in the stadium. And normally, now I will say this, even in these doldrum times for our attendance, when it's been an important game between Washington and Dallas, Washington fans have shown up. I remember 2018. That was an important game against Dallas, and our stadium was pretty loud for us. I'm also going to point out something else here. I bought this hoodie right here during the bye week. We are 4-0 since.
Hey, don't wash it. Wear it
gets
night.
washed every week, but I wear it. So I was gonna wear some washed swag. I may have to wear just depending on the temperature. I may have to wear like the leather hat or the infamous leather jacket over top of it. But you see, I think it's a sign that we are going to be NFC East champions. Champions.
Yeah, it'd be nice to not be the wild card, but Dallas, they December Dallas and self-implosion. They pull off the victory last week, but
by the way, Shannon Sharp can kiss all square inches of my ass. He said that we have not beaten any good teams during this win streak. Excuse me?
Tampa? Vegas is a decent team. You can't say they're not.
All these teams we've beat, except for Seattle, are playoff contenders.
Right.
And Seattle had a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
So where is
All
this
of them have
coming
better
from?
defenses than Dallas.
He said
Every
that
one of the teams, we beat
Dallas
had better
should
defense
not
than
worry
Dallas.
about us.
Yeah.
Every defense we played had a better defense than Dallas. That we beat. Every team that we beat had a better defense than Dallas.
And you know what I hope, and I say this as somebody who marked for the guy so hard. I hope we run the ball right at Micah Parsons. We've gotten this habit now.
Right
when
up.
we get the running game going, when we got the running game going, we run the same run play multiple times. Right. If it works, do it again. We ran the same gut play 3 times in a row on Tampa, for instance. And when I realized that, it made me think back to a little bit of history for you guys before we go. January 1983, NFC Championship game. Russ Grimm has decided he is going to have a personal grudge match against Hall of Famer Randy White. So you got Hall of Fame guard versus Hall of Fame defensive tackle, right? And Gibbs calls a run to the outside. And Russ Grimm looks at Joe Theismann and says, no, 50 gut. So they run it 6 yards or something like that. And then they call another run to the outside. Russ Grimm goes, no, 50 gut. So they run 50 gut. And Joe Theismann goes, I think this play is working. 50 gut. Yeah. They started ignoring Joe Gibbs completely. And they ran 50 gut like 7 times in a row.
Stop it. Learn to stop it.
And it literally got to the point where Russ Grimm came with the line and said, hey, Randy, it's coming at you. And they couldn't stop it. This is what I talk about. Offensive linemen, we love to beat on people. Yeah. We love to physically impose ourselves on people. That's what the running game does. I love that kind of attitude. And I really feel like it's great because Russ Grimm is a left guard. Eric Flowers is a left guard. I get a lot of that vibe from Eric Flowers.
Yep.
That guy has really become just like just walking, just beast swag coming up to the line every time. Like, I'm coming at you.
Yeah.
I want that. I like that.
I thought something just flashed up. I was looking up at the Monday Night Football game, and Mac Jones has 1 pass for 1 completion the whole entire first half.
Yeesh.
And they're winning.
They are winning.
Yeah, 11-7. But they which is odd score. But yeah.
1 for 1 for 12 yards. Holy moly.
Right. What the hell have they been doing?
I have no idea. They must be doing a wishbone or something. What the fuck is going on here?
Georgia Tech offense up in there?
Yeah, all the running backs got all the catches.
Time possession.
9 rushes, 8
to
rushes.
14-30.
Look at this. 9 carries, rushes, 8 carries, 3 carries.
1, and
1. Do you know why? My friends at that game, I think the wind gusts are 40+ miles an hour.
Yeah, it's snowing too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, Alice.
What's the weather report? What's the weather? Oh, that's a good. Alice what's the weather report for Sunday?
Right now it's rain, and I'm pretty pissed off about that. I'll tell you right now. So
look this morning. Rain, dog.
Oh. It's let's go to Sunday. High of 53, occasional rain. Morning high 53. Temps falling near 45. Chance of rain 80%. 1/4 inch. Wind 10 miles per hour. So.
So this is going to be like RFK weather.
I'm not picking up.
This
Gibson, man.
This is RFK in December weather, except for the fact it's going to be a little warmer. Usually it was about 40 degrees and raining.
A preview podcast. This is a
This is
I know,
recap.
but I wanted to get an early start on this because I kind of like the idea of us playing in the mud against Dallas with the way we've been running the ball.
Man, I don't know if I want to run the ball with Gibson in the slippery ass football. You know what I'm saying?
At FedEx.
Yeah. I don't know about
ACLs get torn. Yeah, Turf's been pretty good this year. Turf's been good this year. That's right.
Where the ball gets ripped out of your hands if you Gibson. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
They were trying it on Gibson all week, and every time they went after him
and lost fumbles.
He had he didn't fumble at all this week. Ball high and tight. You even saw him many times.
You don't give him a cookie for doing what he's supposed to do?
Other hand over top of it.
I'm gonna give you a cookie. I ain't fumble my gun at work either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to give me a cookie for doing some shit I ain't supposed to be doing?
Hey, Dev, let's go shout outs, man. Who you got any before we close out?
I have one. I can't remember now. Like I had a good one. Circle back to me.
All right. Phil, you got any shout outs?
Shout out and apologies to all the victims of the petty purge yesterday.
Yeah.
We're working on rectifying that situation.
The purge.
The
Yeah,
petty
my
purge.
shout outs go to all the, like Dev said it earlier, but all the fans who made the trek to the West Coast. Well, yeah, West Coast, Vegas. That was going to be us. But with COVID, we didn't know. I bought a plane ticket, didn't buy a game ticket, but that's okay. Shout out to everyone who did make it. It's a great destination. Hopefully we can go next time and make a long weekend out of it, have some fun. Hopefully not lose any money at the tables, but it's Vegas. Set a limit, go for it. Dev, last chance. You got to shout out.
I still forgot who I was. I thought about it all day too. But
I'm sure.
Shout out to Rod, man. He's an asshole, but he knows how to take a joke. You knew we was gonna give it to you if you lost, because he would have given it to my ass if we had lost, man. He would have fucked me up. I already know. But
yeah,
we would
never heard the end of it.
Shout out to Rod. I gave him a hard time. I'm still giving him a hard time until tomorrow. I'll let it go. But
yeah.
Shout out to Rod, man.
We will we'll see you guys. What? Go ahead.
You're an asshole, Rod, but we love you, man. You're an asshole. Stop being an asshole, and you're a sore loser, but we love you.
Hey, tune in Thursday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live previewing the Dallas Cowboys game. Don't know about the pregame on Sunday. Phil and I will be actually at FedEx Field, so maybe we'll go live in the parking lot, in the red zone lot, tailgating. If it's not pouring down, raining, but I got a little.
Steve's promising me some of those awesome brats and all that off his.
We'll find it. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple. All right, fellas. We'll shut this one down, and we'll see you all Thursday evening for a Cowboys preview. Hey, it's Cowboys week. Y'all better get live and
we them boys.
Show it. Tell any Cowboys friends, hey, stick it to them. This is Dallas.
I hate them.
We got a special guest for you.
Yeah, we want Dallas.
If we can whoop Rod's ass and Dallas ass in the same season, oh man,
victory. Game over.
Do it twice.
All right.
Let's start with the first one.
Peace.
Peace.